Hare Krishna. So today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 2nd chapter, text number 13. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Garbha Sankarsanatam Vai Prahu Sankarshanam Bhuvi Rame Tilo Karamanad Balabhadram Balochrayat. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The son of Rohini will also be celebrated as Sankarshana because of being sent from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. He will be called Rama because of his ability to please all the inhabitants of Gokula. And he will be known as Balabhadra because of his extensive physical strength. Purport. These are some of the reasons why Balaram is known as Sankarshana. Balaram, or sometimes Rama, in the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. People sometimes object when Rama is accepted as Balarama. But although devotees of Lord Rama may object, they should know that there is no difference between Balaram and Lord Rama. Here, Srimad Bhagavatam clearly states that Balaram is also known as Rama, Rameti. Therefore, it is not artificial for us to speak of Lord Balaram as Lord Ram. Jayadev Goswami also speaks of three Rams, Parashuram, Raghupati Ram, and Balaram. All of them are Ramas. Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Jayasi Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripadamaham vande Sri Guru Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So happy Balaram Purnima. This is Balaram Jayanti, the day where Lord Balaram appeared just shortly before Krishna. He's known as the older brother, Dauji, and he is the son of Rohini and Vasudev. Vasudev, who is the father of Vasudev, of Krishna. So same father, different mother, but they're brothers. And formerly, he had appeared as Lakshman in Ram Lila, and as Lakshman, he performed many austerities. He was guarding Lord Ram. He was never sleeping while they were in exile for many years. So this time around, he decided, I'll come as the older brother. Because as a younger brother, you have to do many things that your older brother wants to do. But if you're the older brother, then you do whatever you like, right? You may have had an experience in your own lives. So, and they were both growing up in Vrindavan and were performing all kinds of wonderful pastimes. When they were very small, they would just steal butter and yogurt and do all kinds of mischief and feed it to the monkeys and tease the babies, and sometimes there was no milk or butter to be stolen, so they passed stool and urine in the houses of the gopas and gopis. How many times have you passed urine? Nobody cares about it. But 5,000 years after Balaram and Krishna did that, people are still talking about it, them passing stool and urine. So, and when they went out to herd the calves and later on the cows, many demons came, which were sent by Kamsa, and they were killed in a sporting way every day. So one day, the cowherd boys, they said, we're very hungry. We have heard that there is wonderful tal fruits. You know tal fruits? Huh? Amazing fruit. That very sweet. In the Talavan forest. But there is a problem there. There is Denukasura, a big ass demon with his friends. And that ass demon is known as being a man-eater. Have you met donkeys who eat men, who eat people? Denukasura was such kind of a fellow. So nobody dared to go there. Not even the birds went to that forest. But the cowherd boys were very enthusiastic to go to that place. So Krishna and Balaram led them there, and they started shaking the trees. A lot of fruits fell down. And naturally, Denukasura and his friends, they got very angry and upset, and they stormed in the arena. And he ran up to Balaram and just kicked him in his chest with his hind legs. But Balaram just stood there, and he was just unmoved, like a mountain. The next time, when Denukasura came, Balaram, he grabbed him by the hind legs and swung him around and threw him on a tall tree. And just by that twirling motion, he died. And the tall tree bent over and broke. And another tree bent over and broke. And in this way, many trees broke. And through that sound, all the demons became alarmed. They all came running. And Krishna and Balaram disposed of them in the same way. Then later on, they didn't touch those fruits because they were spoiled with the blood of the donkeys who had died. Another day, when Krishna was playing with Kaliya, and all the Brijbasis were very, very disturbed. They were practically losing their mind, losing their life, because Kaliya had captured. Kaliya is a big, big, huge serpent, spitting poisonous fumes and smoke through its 100 heads, and it polluted a certain area of the Jamuna. So when the Brijbasis saw Krishna being captured by the coils of Kaliya, they almost died. Many of them fainted. But Balaram, he said, this is not a problem. This is Krishna. Krishna has got all the powers. He'll take care of Kaliya. And he was also smiling and chuckling. He said, this Kaliya is not more than a little water snake. It's a very harmless creature. Why doesn't Krishna play with me? Like I'm an Antashesha. Why does he never play with me like he's playing with Kaliya now? So he's just making fun of the whole scenario. Then, of course, Krishna punished Kaliya and sent him off to some other place. Another time, there was one cowherd boy who stayed back home because it was his birthday. So one demon, Pralambasura, he took the form of a calf, and he tried, no, not a calf, actually. What was it? Cowherd boy? Yes, thank you. And he just took the exact same form of that cowherd boy. And they had a wrestling match, and then they had to be carried. The losing party had to carry the winners. So Balaram was being carried by that Pralambasura, who was actually a whirlwind. He was a big demon. So he thought, if I first kill Balaram, then Krishna will be so depressed that I can kill him also. That was his logic. But he did not count on Balaram's strength. So at some point, he carried him very far. So then he changed his form and he flew up into the air. But Lord Balaram, he just smashed his skull and crashed him to the ground. So in this way, he disposed of him. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes in his commentary on these pastimes that these demons are representing gross material lust and how to enjoy and how to control and manipulate others. then we know Balaram also appeared as Lord Nityananda. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahyanya Balaram Hoilo Nitai. So Nitai is nobody else than Balaram, the Adi Guru. And what is his mission? His mission is to serve Lord Chaitanya. His mission is to serve Krishna. And as such, he expanded the Sankirtan movement by connecting all living entities with the chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And there was Romaharshana Sutta, who was supposed to speak the Bhagavatam. But when Balaram, actually the story before was, there was the Battle of Kurukshetra, and Balaram, who had very liberally taught Duryodhana the art of fighting with the club, and he appeared when there was the duel, the match between Bhima and Duryodhana. And he told him, look, this is useless. You're wasting your time. Duryodhana is more skilled. Bhima is stronger. You're not going to win. None of you is going to win. So he asked them to stop fighting. But they were so angry that they could not stop fighting. So he saw this is just not going to happen. So he just left. He went on pilgrimage. He just visited holy places. And when he was in the holy place of, where was the Bhagavatam spoken? Naimisaranya, yes. That's the hub. That's the center of the universe. And Romaharshana Sutta was sitting on the Vyasasana. And he came there, Balaram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he saw that everybody got up and paid respects to him, except one person. Who? Romaharshana Sutta. And he thought, what is this? This is not proper. So he took a blade of kusha grass and he killed him just by touching him with that blade of grass. He died. And all the sages, they were shocked. They were surprised. They said, we've just blessed him with long life, with good life, with great learning, and you killed him. This is terrible. He said, no problem. I can take it all back. I can bring him back to life. They said, no. Whatever is done is done. It's okay. Just leave it be. But please do some atonement, some prayaschita, because this does not look so well for the general public. So Balaram went on pilgrimage. He went to tour all the holy places. But he transferred the blessings from Romaharshana Sutta to Sutta Goswami, to his son. And he said, okay, he will be blessed with great learning, great life, and he can speak the Bhagavatam. Everything went on according to Krishna's plan. But then later on, he appeared as Lord Nityananda. And that same blade of kusha grass that he used to kill Romaharshana Sutta, he was having a grass between his teeth, and he was going up to people, and he was saying, Bhaja Krishna, Bolo Krishna, Koro Krishna Shika. Please, I beg you, I plead with you, please chant Krishna's name, worship Krishna, glorify Krishna. And not everybody was very positive. Some people, they thought, who are you? Why are you coming here? Are you spies? Do you want to steal from us? Jagai and Madai attacked Lord Nityananda and hit him on the head with a broken piece of clay pot and drew blood. But Lord Nityananda tolerated it. And then when Lord Chaitanya came and wanted to take serious action, invoking the Sudarshan Chakra, he said, no, please. If you kill them, you have to kill everybody. But actually, Madai, he hurt me, but Jagai, he protected me. So he actually tried to protect me. Give them to me as a gift. So he gave mercy to Jagai and Madai in order to invoke the blessing of Lord Chaitanya on all fallen souls. Have you met a few Jagai Madais here in Copenhagen? Just a few? There are out there, right? Of course, it's still early. They're getting worked up. It usually takes a little while for them to fully manifest. So it's important to understand our tradition so we can actually enter into the mood of Lord Balaram, Nityananda Ram. What is that mood? To connect all living entities with the mercy of Lord Chaitanya by engaging them in the Sankirtan movement. by giving them the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because there is no point in judging people, in criticizing people, in pushing people down. Manda sumanda matayo, mando bhagyo hyupadruta. Prayena alpayusa sabya kalavasmin yugejana. And so on. Manda sumanda matayo, manda bhagyo hyupadruta. In this Kali Yuga, it's already a bad time. One time I was in Udupi. You know Udupi. Anybody been to Udupi? South India? Beautiful place. Place of Madhavacharya. You can fly to Mangalore, not Bangalore, Mangalore, and then you take the bus up to Udupi. And there is Krishna Mat, that Krishna deity of Madhavacharya. And they have a beautiful temple right in the middle of the town. And then there is a square with all different shops who only have puja items and devotional paraphernalia. And they do Rath Yatra every evening, every night. They take the Utsav Murti on the Rath and they do parikrama every night. Pretty nice. And they have big dharmshalas and also they distribute lakhs and lakhs of meals. A lot of prasad distribution there. So I went there and one Ayurvedic doctor, Dr. Kamat, he said that, you know, in this age, Ayurvedic doctors are not good. And I know because I'm the professor at Manipal Ayurvedic, university. I'm training them. They're not so good. And the medicines are also not so good. And the patients, they're also not good because they don't do what you tell them to do. In fact, it's a very bad time right now. But there's one good quality. You want to know what that is? He said, simply by the chanting of Hare Krishna, you can achieve the highest perfection. And I said, Doctor, are you a Hare Krishna? And he said, of course I'm a Hare Krishna. Because in Udupi, everybody's a devotee of Krishna. In fact, everyone wants to have darshan at least once a day of Udupi Krishna. And opposite the deities in the wall, there is a little opening so that people can park their bicycle or their scooter or their car there, and they get out, they take off their shoes, and they have darshan, they give their pranams, they say, okay, got to go back to my shop now, Hare Krishna, and they go back to work. So people are very, very dedicated, very devoted to Udupi Krishna. When Dr. Kamat received the books, he got up from his desk and he took off his shoes. Now in India, when somebody takes off their shoes, that's serious business, right? That means like, this is serious, huh? So you want people to get serious, you take off your shoes. That forces them to also take off their shoes. Then it's like, okay, handshake, it's like no more just talk. This is serious. He took off his shoes and with both hands, he took the books and he gave a donation. And I saw he was a bachelor. How did I saw? He had holes in his socks. So he's the professor at Manipal Medical College, but he's got holes in his socks. So here in this purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that there are three Ramas, Parshuram, Raghupati Ram, and Balaram. And all of them are Ramas. So we don't have to get into sectarian ideas of like, my Rama is better than your Rama, my daddy is stronger than your daddy, or we are from a different side of the river, we do things differently. But this Vedic tradition is a very inclusive tradition. It's a very progressive tradition. So that's very wonderful to see here. So today is a good day. It's also Purnima, the full moon, where we can take some sankalpa, to take some vrat. Now, Bhadra Purnima is just 1 month ahead from now. Next Purnima is Bhadra Purnima, the full moon. Do we have English Bhagavatam sets here? How many sets do we have? 50? 50. How much are they? English set. 2,000. Okay. Yeah. So it says that if you gift somebody a Srimad Bhagavatam on the Bhadra Purnima, you go to the spiritual world. Pretty cool, huh? Anybody would like to gift somebody a Srimad Bhagavatam on Bhadra Purnima? Yeah? One person, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 50 is not enough. You got to order more. Okay. You can go see Lalita Nath afterwards. I don't have any, I'm just a traveling mendicant here. I don't have any cut, any percentage in this, but you please go see Lalita Nath Prabhu. You can take the names of the people who would like to sponsor a set or gift a set to somebody. Now we were just in, You? Janardhan, 1, him 1, whole set, yes. Okay, do you write this down? We need somebody to write this down because, Kali Yuga. Bad time. No more photographic memory. We just did this in Lithuania and 16 sets went out in Lithuanian language. And before, we did it in Georgetown. You know what Georgetown is? Guyana, Caribbean. 28 sets. Philadelphia, 23 sets. So let's see if we can beat this. We got 50 sets here. So if you want to become fortunate, then give the greatest gift. Give Srimad Bhagavatam to somebody. First of all, give it to yourself because charity starts at home. If I don't have it, I can't give it. I remember I was 15 years old and my friend in school, he showed me Bhagavad Gita. And I said, can I have it? And he said, no, you can't have it. Now what happens when you tell a 15-year-old you cannot have it? What happens? Yeah, he wants it, right? He wants to figure out how to get it. So finally I got my own Gita, and then I wanted to have all the books. Okay, let's first write down who we have here. Who else? And here, just your 2 friends here, right next to you. Him. Yeah. And, okay, anyone else likes a set? Either for yourself or for somebody else. Okay, I'll tell you a few more stories, and then maybe you get inspired. We'll see. Okay? Yeah? That's how it works, Krishna makes us work for it. So, then I started reading Gita and first canto, and I really liked it because I found the first canto in the school, in my library. And amazing book, never seen something like that. So I asked the devotees to bring me a full set. And one devotee, he brought it. But he brought me used books, secondhand books from the library. Because he saw this 15-year-old kid, he doesn't have any money. He didn't know, Jai Shishigonitai Ki Jai, that I was working 3 jobs. I was distributing a newspaper weekly in my neighborhood to all the households. And on the weekends, I would deliver flowers for a flower shop on the bicycle, like those Bolt guys, or what do you call them, Volt or something like that, bicycle courier. And once a month, I did recycling with a friend's dad at his factory, shampoos, aluminum recycling. And I saved up all the money. So when the devotee brought me all the books, Bhagavatam, NCC, I didn't know, okay, what should I give him, Because this knowledge is priceless. This is like so amazing. So what can I give him? So I gave him all the money I had saved up, $500, which in 84, it's almost like 1,000 now. It was a lot of money. But I wasn't sure, is it enough or not? He was very happy. So I was happy also that he was happy. I was not so happy that I got secondhand books, but those were the days where you did not argue with senior devotees. Not like today, So I had all the books. I was really happy. And, fast forward 41 or 42 years, we've gone a few places, we've done a few things. I have 3 grown-up children and, built a couple of things and planted a few trees. But I can tell you, this is the best investment that I've ever made in my entire life. This is the best investment I've ever made in my entire life, getting a full set of Prabhupada's books. So, Krishna svaramapagate dharma jnana divisaha kalaunashtam drishamesha puranarkodunodita. When Krishna left this world, all dharma, all religious principles took shelter in the Bhagavatam. So Krishna still remained here in the form of the Bhagavatam, the Bhagavat Puran. Just like the Sikh tradition, they have Granth Sahib, they worship the book. They don't have deities, they just worship the book. Other traditions, they have Nam Prabhu, they just worship the name. And we have all of that. We have the book, we have the deity, we have the name. But Bhagavatam is really the foundation of our tradition. Because this is Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. It is a spotless Purana, and thus it is very dear to the Vaishnavas. They're Puranas for people in the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness. And then there's the unalloyed Purana, which talks about the pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is Srimad Bhagavatam. Who else would like to get a Bhagavatam? Anybody else? Come on, work with me, people. Krishna 10, Krishna 9, Krishna 8. More amor, more love. Yeah. Do you have any friends? Anybody here has friends? No, in Denmark they don't like friends, right? It's me against the rest of the galaxy, right? No, none of that friend business, right? Friend of mine, Narayan Pandit, he was stationed in Shanghai, biggest train station in the planet. 30 million people in Shanghai. Millions going through that train station. Married a Chinese lady. And he was distributing books there. There's Secret Service, police, military, get arrested countless times. They ask him, what are you doing here? He said, I have Chinese wife, I have to make money. They say, where you got the books from? I bought them on market. I have to sell them. I have Chinese wife, I need to make money. They say, okay, go get lost, but don't come back here, okay? So one man asked him, what are you trying to do? And he said, you know, China before was big culture. They had really spiritual culture. Now everybody's into money and politics. So I want to change that. How do you want to change that? I want to put these books into all the universities of China. He said, how are you going to do that? He said, well, you know, a book at a time, you know. It's like, what can I do? And he said, show me your books. So he looked through the Bhagavatam for quite a while. And then he said, okay, I'll help you. How much is a set? He said, a set is $500. Chinese books, very, very nicely done, expensive. So he said, all right, okay. He handed him a bag with $50,000. He said, okay, I'll sponsor 100 sets. So the devotee, he went and he put these books into the top universities in China, and he got pictures with the professors, with the librarians. He got reviews from them, and he got shipping receipts. He gave everything to that man, documented, you know, accountability, transparency. Okay, we're getting a lot of donation, but what are we doing with the money? Where does the money go? Accountability, transparency. The man was so impressed by his honesty that he said, okay, another 100 sets for Hong Kong, another 100 sets for Taiwan, another 100. He sponsored 800 sets. He gave him $400,000, which is now what? About 3.5 million Danish? Something like that, right? Not bad start, isn't it? Why? He had taste and he had faith. If you have taste and you have faith, you can move. As the Christians say, if you have the faith the size of a sesame or mustard seed, you can move the mountain into the sea. But do we have faith and do we have taste? Or do we have different tastes and different kind of faith? So, Lord Balaram has come to help us, to give us the strength to overcome our weaknesses. If we take shelter of Guru, if we take shelter of the representatives of Guru, the sadhus, the practitioners, then we will gain the strength to overcome our own weaknesses. What are the weaknesses? Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moha, Mada, Matsarya, all those enemies. Sometimes we have weakness. We may think, oh, what about this? What about that? But when we have the support of the sadhus, of the practitioners, and the support of our parampara, then we can overcome. Nridehamadyam sulabam sudurlabham plavam sukalpam guru karnataram Mayanushtena nabashvateritam puman bhavabdim nataretsa atmaha. That if you take shelter in the boat of the instructions of the Guru, you can cross over the ocean of birth and death, samsara. But Guru Karnadaram, you have to pay attention. How do you pay attention? Okay, you come here once a week, a month, once every few months. How to take shelter in the instructions of the spiritual master? You have to read every day. You have to read Bhagavatam. Can you read one verse? Is it possible? What do you think? It's possible, right? Yes. It's possible. So Bhagavatam will take you 46 years. Most of you can do it. Gita will take you 2 years. But you have to start today. Do you have a program for reading? How many of you have an active program for reading? Daily program. That's about 5 people. Now we have a program for working, we have a program for sleeping, for eating, for exercising, for recreation. We got so many programs, right? But if we don't feed our mind and our intellect positive sound vibration, positive energy, we're not going anywhere. Yes, we're accumulating assets, we're accumulating relatives and acquaintances and so on, but we're not moving forward. Where? Towards our ultimate objective. Are you becoming successful in overcoming the repetition of birth and death? Or not quite? We're just running in circles. We're not going anywhere. So the Bhagavatam is here to give us guidance, to give us strength, to give us enthusiasm and encouragement. There's so many encouraging stories in the Bhagavatam. Anyone? What's your favorite? Vritrasura, yes, I was just about to say. The Bhagavatam is also known as the story of Vritrasura. You heard of Vritrasura? Vritrasura was a king known as Chitraketu. He was a great king, but there was a slight discrepancy, so he got cursed. He got cursed to take birth as a demon, and he had to fight against Indra. It was a great fight. The whole story is there in the Bhagavatam. This is just a sneak preview. I'm not going to spoil it for you. Okay, just as an appetizer. But because he was a virtuous person, he was a devotee, he was not disturbed that he was in a body of a demon. And he said, okay, I'll put up a good fight. And there was a tremendous fight going on between him and Indra. And at some point, Indra cut off with his Vajra, his thunderbolt. He cut off both arms of Vritra. But Vritra expanded his form and he swallowed Indra. And then he went into ecstasy. He thought, okay, my job is done. And then Vritra went into ecstasy, but Indra, he cut open his stomach with the Vajra, and he came out, and he wanted to cut off his head, but he couldn't, because he was in ecstasy, he was in samadhi, and it took him 1 full year to cut off his head. Chitraketu had already attained the spiritual world. So for him, no problem. It's a very encouraging story that sometimes we're in the wrong place, in the wrong situation. We're not feeling adequate. This may not be exactly perfect. But if we have a devotional attitude, if our attitude is a mood of service, a mood of surrender, a mood of dedication, then even contrary situations can become very transformative. Great story, a story of Chitraketu. Who else would like to sponsor a set? You can also sponsor 10 sets if you like. You know, this 2000 is less than an Android phone, you know? You see these phones, these cheap phones? A set of Bhagavatams cost less than an Android phone. I had a fancy phone. Somebody gifted me a Samsung Galaxy 21S Ultra XYZ whatnot. Because they wanted to do some nice multimedia project, but then they didn't, so the phone was just lying there for months. And then he said, you just take the box. I have another phone that I'm more comfortable with. So it served me for 3 years, but when I was in Honduras giving a university program, I looked at my phone, and this is my everything. You know, I don't have a computer, a tablet, or this or that. This is it. And I saw like 5 blue-green lines on the screen, which means no bueno. You know, bad news, right? The soul has left its body. It died. And for 4 countries, Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala, and Mexico, I didn't have a phone. And believe it or not, I'm still alive. Can you believe it? I'm still alive. Like you ask kids, write something down or calculate something, and they take their phone out, and you go like, hello, like, just take a paper and a pen. Use your head. So then somebody else gifted me this one, and yeah, it works. The Bhagavatam is cheaper than one of these. Of course, you can get a dumb phone in India. There's phones that you can throw and use as a hammer and as a screwdriver. Nokia. Have you heard of Nokia? Yeah, the great Nokia. They're still in the market of dumb phones, not in this market. So we have to understand what is artha, what is valuable, and what is anartha. What is a distraction? What is holding me back? How many of you are born here in the great city of Hügeland, of Copenhagen? How many of you? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, the rest of you, what are you doing here? That is a good question, right? We should ask ourselves, what am I doing here? What is my purpose? What is my intention? Now, if we're here to study the Bhagavatam and to share the Bhagavatam, then it's a good reason. But all the other reasons, I don't think they're really that great. So we should take advantage of the time that we have here in this world, because our position is not very stable. Amala jala jala jivana talamala. A drop of water on a lotus leaf. How secure is a drop of water on a lotus leaf? How secure? Have you seen lotus? I just came from Caribbean. There, lotus are growing in the trenches everywhere, just lotuses all over the place. How secure is a drop of water on a lotus leaf? Huh? Not secure at all. How secure is a techie here in Copenhagen? How secure is your job here? I just came from California. They can hire and fire on the moment. You get one SMS notice that your chip card doesn't work anymore. You can just send back your laptop and that's it. Chalo, finish. Huh? Or somebody offers you 50 rupees more and you jump to a different company. Huh? No loyalty, no more friends, no more family, no more nothing. Huh? It's called capitalism. So our position here in this world is very temporary. But if we are aware of that and we use our time, our energy, and our resources in the right way, then what right now seems to be quite entangling and quite compromising, like Kurukshetra, seems to be a battle, right? Just to make it through the days, through the week, through the year. But that can actually become the bonds that free you. That can become the bonds that free us if we use our time, our energy, and our resources for the service of Krishna. So this is not a fundraiser because Janmashtami is coming next week, and there will be other people who are talking about numbers and things and this and that. But I just wanted to share a couple of stories from my life, what inspires me to still do this. And I thought, well, maybe if it works for me, I'm an ordinary guy. I was just a little kid playing sports back in Heideland, down south in Switzerland. So if it works for me, it can work for anybody. So we would like that everybody has this opportunity of coming in touch with the Bhagavatam. That's why Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, he left Vrindavan, the most perfect place, to come to the West to bring us the Bhagavatam. Because in Vrindavan, it took him 8 years to publish the first 3 volumes, just the first canto. But he was already 70 years old, and he had another 11 cantos to finish. So what do you do when you have a big project, but you have very little time? Have you ever been in such a situation? Big project, very little time? What do you do? Huh? Not enough time. 1 canto took 8 years. 11 cantos going to take 88 more years. Not going to work. Some cantos are bigger than the first canto, 10th canto, 12th canto, 3rd canto, 4th canto. What do you do? Yes, it's called empowerment. Huh? You inspire others and you pass the ball. You inspire them, you empower them to do great things. That's why he came to the West carrying the Bhagavatam. And anybody who walked through the door, Prabhupada treated them like a future leader of the Hare Krishna movement. There were some pretty funny people who walked through that door. Huh? Have you heard of the hippies? Yeah? You may have seen a few here and there. Huh? But Prabhupada was not seeing the deficiency. He was not seeing the problem. He was seeing the potential. And he fanned that potential. And then he told people, okay, you go to Africa, you go to Russia, you go to China, you go to South America. And he sent people in all 10 directions. And guess what happened? They became the future leaders of the Hare Krishna movement. And now there's almost 1,000 centers all over the world, including here in Copenhagen. And we're very fortunate and grateful to the stalwarts here, Lalitana Prabhu and Janardhan Prabhu and the whole team, who is not just keeping the lights on, but keeping the oasis open and vibrant and attractive so we can come and take shelter here in this great desert of the material world. It's a wonderful opportunity. So we would like you to have the Bhagavatam in your home, because then your home will also be a temple. Because people will come and they can engage in satsang. You can read these stories from the Bhagavatam. You can do kirtan. You can offer prasad to the books. This is Krishna's literary incarnation. You can offer bhoga to the books. And in this way, you have a temple at home. How would you like to have that? Would you like to have a temple in your home? It would be nice, no? You have people who come for different purposes, not just let's go and watch TV and, eat something, but let's have some satsang. They come for a spiritual purpose. Okay, we got another 12 minutes here. Anybody else would like a set or would like to sponsor a set? You take one, okay? Haribo. I already sponsored my set in Lithuania, I said, I'll sponsor a set for a teenager. And then one boy said, I'm 19, I want the set. And I'm like, okay, it's yours, man. You got it. And so he heard story. And towards the end, he raised his hand and said, what? You changed your mind? He said, no, I also want to sponsor a set. So you can always pay it forward, pay it forward. We all have been blessed. We've gotten so much from our friends. We've gotten so much from our previous acharyas. So let us try to pay it forward and share it with others. Anybody else? 2,000 krona. That's like a parking ticket it's like a parking ticket in Copenhagen, right? More or less. If you stand in the wrong spot, that's about what it is, right? He knows. Anyone else? Come on, all the big people here in the back. Don't be shy. All right. That means 5? 5 sets? Oh, only one. Okay, one set. Okay. What about your friend there next to you? Okay, you also take one. What about you? Come on, Jack and Jones. You look like you got bags of money. Huh? Huh? You can read my book, but it's only going to come out after Kartik. And Bhadra Purnima is next Purnima. So you get to start by reading the book. You take one? That means yes. Okay, I'll tell you one story. This will convince you. This is the story of stories. I used to go up to Rishikesh with a few friends. Believe it or not, I have a few friends like Janardhan and Mahabhavi, and a whole bunch of us, like 12 of us. We went chanting and dancing in Rishikesh. How many of you have been to Rishikesh? Great place, right? Ganges is there, Himalayas are there, clean water, good air, beautiful. So we're chanting next to Lakshman Jhula, and we're creating a traffic jam because it's a small bridge. So people, they honk and they horn and they scream and yell, and then they see this is not working. So they get off the motorbikes and they start joining the kirtan because they see this is useless. This is big jamila, nothing moving. So we're having there a nice kirtan. So there's a beggar there, not a sadhu, but a professional beggar, meaning he's not a saintly person, it's his job, to beg. So he watches us for about 10, 12 minutes. He sits on the steps right below German Bakery. You remember the guy, right? And after 10, 12 minutes, he decides, this is no fun being a beggar. These people are having more fun. So I joined them. So he took his cup, put it in his kurta pocket, and he joined the kirtan. And then he starts dancing, really, Bollywood style, like really flash. Huh? Anyone? You can do Bollywood dance? So then, after another 5 or 7 minutes or so, he gets so excited. He's in the middle, he's dancing like anything. He reaches into his kurta pocket and he picks out a whole big stash of cash, a wad of money, and he waves it around, shows it to everybody. And then he takes bills and he puts it into the pockets of all the devotees who are dancing there. And he's showing to everybody, I'm not a beggar, I'm a generous person. So that's what this Bhagavatam does to people. Right now, we're all beggars. We all came with nothing. We are born in this world naked, and we leave this world naked. All the toys go back on the shelf. Sorry, I don't want to disappoint anybody. I know this is, but there's a fact. The only asset that we own is what we've given to Krishna, what we've given with devotion. That is to our eternal credit, to our eternal benefit. And as even the Muslims understand that what we hoard and what we keep and what we stash, that will be the toll fee towards our next destination, the toll fees to reach our next destination. So it's the best investment you can make. And anyone else? A set? Did that story convince you? Do you like that story? I know it's been a hard week. You've still been working. Huh? So anyway, you can think about it. Lalitanath Prabhu is here, and he will not only give you the books, but there's also study groups where you can study the books, and you can learn how to apply them, how to put them into practice, which is something very much needed. Because we meet people every day on the street who say, I'm a Christian, I'm a Jew, I'm a Hindu, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Buddhist, I'm an atheist, I'm a Hare Krishna. And then we ask them, what is your practice? And they say, practice? There is a practice? I didn't know that there is a practice. Huh? They think we didn't understand them, then they search and they look and they get out some star or some amulet, or they say, no, you bought this for 2 paisa, it was 2 paisa, now it's 20 rupees with inflation. So it's just a symbol. What is your practice? Practice is what happens when no one is watching you. Arjun, what do you do when no one is watching you? That is your practice. That's the facts. That's the hard news. So you want to know what your practice is? It is what you do when nobody's watching you. That's your practice. So as we have acquired a couple of habits that may not be so great, so we can also improve our habits by satsang, by seva, by sadhana. And that is what this Balaram Purnima, this festival, is all about. Today is a great celebration for the birthday of Lord Balaram. Whole of Braj is celebrating this wonderful event. And they're not saying, dad is in Mathura, the mom is not from here. No, it's a big celebration. Everybody is joyful. Everyone is cheering. And it's a big, big event. Everyone is singing and dancing. They're distributing prasad. They're having wonderful celebration. So let us take this opportunity to celebrate Balaram Purnima, and with the same humility of Lord Nityananda, to take a moment of introspection, and with all the humility at our command, let us pray at the lotus feet of Shri Nityananda Ram, that he may grant us the spiritual strength, the service attitude, the tolerance and compassion that he manifested as Lakshman, as Nityananda, as Balaram, in selfless service to Lord Krishna. And that will be very pleasing. That will attract Krishna's attention. That will captivate Krishna's heart. Thank you for your kind attention. Shri Balaram Purnim Maha Mahotsav Ke. Shri Shri Nityanandaram Ke. Srila Prabhupada Ke. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ke. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. We got a few minutes for comments, reflections, or questions. Yes.
Does Balaram come actually from Radharani?
Does he come?
Is Radharani the first expansion?
No. Radharani is the internal potency. Radha Krishna are eternally one, but they've separated just for the purpose of pastime. But Rama is the first expansion. Rama di murtishu kaleni amena tishtanana, Brahma Samhita. Rama Adi. It begins with Rama, all the expansions. Okay?